Hi my Stampin' friends, I'm Sandra at artypapercrafters.com, an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and today's tutorial that I have for you all came about when I decided to use my beautiful You stamp set, which I'd had on the shelf for a while and not used. I don't know if you've ever had things you've brought and not used. I don't know why I haven't used it up to now. This is a gorgeous stamp set. It actually comes in two parts. This is 2 of 2 and that says 1 of 2 because what I did was I amalgamated the 2 boxes together in one, and I know it looks a bit squashed up, but I find it easier if I just have the one box on the shelf. I can always put it back into 2 boxes if I want to, but at the moment I've kept the papers, you see, and they come out quite easily, and they'd go back into the stamp set into 2 boxes again. And you get 13 stamps in all, so you get quite a lot. And what I like about this is that you get the 3 beautiful ladies there, and you get so many gorgeous sentiments, really beautiful and different, and I love it. So let me carry on. I made these cards and I thought, lovely, I like those, they're very pretty. And I thought, ooh, I think I'll make a little bag to go with them. But I wanted like an elegant, stylish little bag to go with my ladies. And I came up with this. And the reason I came up with this and this little elegant top here was that I didn't want an ordinary top to my bag. I wanted something different. And I was searching through my little framelit dies and I noticed my lots of labels framelit dies, and I thought, oh, I like those. I wonder if I can make that into a stylish top. And so I had a little play and worked out that if I folded them in half like that on the top of the bag, I'd have a stylish top. And so I cut 2 to make the top. And so that's what we're going to make today. But I now have another but. I love my bags. They go with my cards. So a nice little gift set, matching card for the birthday. Lovely, gorgeous. But when I went to bed that night, I thought LBD, little black dress. And I thought, oh, I want a card that covers little black dress. So I thought, how can I go about doing that? And then I had a think and thought, oh, I think I've seen paper piecing done before, and I think Jan Brown of janbcards.com showed paper piecing, and I thought I'll have a try at that. So I played for a little while with it because I couldn't work out how to do it, but after some time, you can see, I've managed to paper piece this lady onto here. Now it is a bit what I call fiddly, but do you know what? It is so worth doing because you get something totally different. And isn't that stylish and elegant? I think so. And what was I going to say? Yes, what you need to remember when you're doing this paper piecing is your design. And everything has to be in scale. So my little hearts on here are totally in scale with the size of my lady. So therefore you need a designer paper that is in scale. Now what do I mean by in scale? Let me get my papers and show you. So this is my Pop of Pink, I think it's called Pop of Pink Speciality Designer Series paper. And by the way, all these products are available to buy from my online shop, and I can sell to the UK, France, Germany, Austria and the Netherlands. And these are gorgeous, and can you see how they are in scale? You've got small dots on there, small little plus, well, I call them plus signs, and then you've got this gorgeous little tiny little pattern there. You've got your little hearts, which I've used on my first dress, and you've even got this gold one, look, with little shimmery speckles on. So fantastic papers, perfect for this paper piecing. So let's put that to one side. And so, of course, what do you have with a stylish card? Well, you've got to have an elegant and stylish bag. And this is my elegant and stylish bag. And I'm so darn pleased with this. I'm so excited about sharing this with you because I just think it's gorgeous. And we are now going to get on and make this stylish little gift bag. So let's put everything to one side while we crack on and make our stylish gift bag. So what are you going to need to make this? Well, what you're going to need is, you are going to need these lots of labels, framelits dies, and you are going to need one cut in the second largest. Can you see? You're going to need one of those. You are going to need two cut in the third largest. Two of those. I'm going to cut another one in a moment, but I've only cut one now, but you do need two. And you need one of these. Yes, one of these. So I don't need that one, put that away. One of these to stamp your little lady on. And you need some designer series paper to make your bag, and this piece measures 12 inches by 7 inches. So let's get our scoring done and put these bits to one side for the moment. And we'll make our bag, the body of our bag first, and then I'll show you how to do this paper piecing. So on the long side, we are going to score our bag at 1 3/4 inches, 5 3/4 inches, 7 1/2 inches, and 11 1/2 inches. Turn it to the side, and remember, if you've got a pattern, you need to make sure this is going to be the bottom of our bag, so make sure that your pattern runs up the top, so that's the top. And we're going to score that at 1 3/4 inches. And now we need to do some part scoring. I'm not sure that you can see that very well where my score lines are, and it's a bit fuzzy, not the correct paper probably to use to show you, but we're going to part score at 7/8 of an inch. We are going to part score down to 3 inches. So holding your finger there so you know where your 3 inches is, part score down to 3 inches. So that's at 7/8 of an inch. And then we go down to 6 5/8 and we score down again to 3 inches. The part score. And that's our scoring done. So we can put our scoreboard away. And let's do our folding and burnishing. And you don't need to fold your part scores. We're just going to fold and burnish all our long scores all the way down. So just leave those part scores for now. I don't know what the weather's like where you are, but yesterday was a gorgeous day, lots of gorgeous sunshine, and I managed to get some gardening done, so I was well pleased. Right then, so I don't know if you can see this. I think you can probably see it better here, this side. We're going to cut away this skinny little bit here up to that first score line. So that bit there you don't need. Going to get rid of that. And now we're just going to cut up all our lines, and I'm going to show you it this side. Cut up our lines and just do a slight bit of notching in. You don't need to cut off too much of a wedge. cut up your lines and a little wedge out. Same here. So it's really quite easy to put this box together, but I think that the top makes it just that, it gives it that elegant, stylish look which we're wanting to go with our posh little lady. Right then, so what we're going to need is I'm putting a bit of fast fuse down my skinny little bit. Well, I am when I can get it going. So down our skinny little bit. Doesn't seem to have gone on there. Right. Fold that over and that should fold down perfectly. Hold on, I think I've gone over my line a bit. Can't have that. Just push that away from there, and then that folds down. And then it's very easy, so that's the seam at the back, so that's going to be the back of our box. So fold those pieces in, and then to seal that up, I'm just using a bit of wet Tombow glue, liquid glue. And then this, where's the back of our box gone? That's the back. I can't find this thing. That's the back of our box. So turn that towards me and put this side down. And make sure that you've lined that up nice and square and hold that down. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my bone folder in and just tamp that down. Make sure that that's stuck. Should be stuck. And then I'm just going to put a bit of Tombow glue along the bottom here. Make sure that that's good and square. And I'm just going to do the same to make sure that that's good and stuck down there. And that's our bag done. And now these little score lines come into play. And you just pinch with your thumbs and fingers towards those score lines, like that. And just pinch as you go down to make sure that that matches up like that, and you pinch down to your 3-inch mark like that. Do the same this side, press that score line in and press it up to match the opposite side so that that's good and neat. And that's our bag made, the body of our bag, and you can get quite a lot of treats and gifts in there for your little girlfriends. And now we need to do the top of the bag, and that is very easily done. So I told you that you need the fourth size for the outside, for the top, and then the 3rd size fits over the top, and that's for the lid. I'll put that away because that's for our lady. And what we need to do is we need to put some little score lines on these. So let me bring you down because I want to show you where to put your score lines, and I want you to be able to see it clearly. So the bigger one, you put that in, and you will find on your bigger one that that lines up beautifully with the 1 1/4 inch mark. So you put your score line down there, and you will see that that score line is perfectly in the middle of that framelit die. Now with this next size, you need to put it in and move it away very slightly. And let me show you, let me bring you down even more so that you can see what the devil I'm doing. Hope you can see that now. So you put that in, and you're putting it where that first little mark is. Let me show you. Can you see that first little marker there? Well, you move it away to that first, just about before that score line there, and that's where you put your framelit die. So you put it in and pull it away slightly, and as you move it away, you will see that the 1 1/8 mark comes directly in line with the middle of that little bump there. So we mark that, and that's the 1 1/8. So this was 1 1/4, and this is 1 1/8. So that's the scoring done for that. Don't need to do any more scoring, and it's really very easy peasy. So I'm using my Tombow glue to stick the top one on. So I'll keep you down for the moment with my camera. Hope I remember to pull it back at the right time. So you get your little score marks directly in line with each other on both ends, and make sure that you're exactly the same distance apart. And I'll show you what I mean by that. You need to make sure that your score lines are in line with each other, and you need to go equal distance from these two ends and these two sides. So can you see that that's perfectly lined up? So I got my bone folder to make sure that that was perfectly stuck down on there, because we're going to fold it in a moment and we want it to be in perfect alignment. So now we turn that like that onto our score line, and you'll see that that fold, burnish that down, and you'll see that that fold comes perfectly together with the other one. Can you see that? Perfect alignment, and that makes the top of our bag. So what we do now is you're going to put glue on half only, and I'm using fast fuse for that. And you need to keep your glue about a 1/16 of an inch away from that score line. Don't go directly up to the score line with your glue. Move a 1/16 of an inch away and put your glue all on here, just on half. So let's do that. Glue on here. So can you see how my glue is a good 1/16 of an inch away from that score line? And I'll show you the reason for that in a moment. So we've got our top with our glue. Pinch your bag together, make sure you know which is the back of your bag, and with this pattern I can't even make out which is the back. Where's my, back of the bag's there. So turn the back of the bag towards you, because we are now going to put the piece with no glue is going to go on the front of our bag like that. And you're going to line that up so that that is a 1/16 of an inch away from that crease line. Can you see that? And then you've got that nice and equidistant. Can you see how I've got a fraction over there and a fraction over there? So that is perfectly lined up, and you're a 1/16 of an inch away, and then you're going to fold that down like that. And then we're going to get our bone folder and just make sure that that's good and stuck. And so now you've got your bag done with your quirky top, lovely, elegant, stylish top. And now we need to fix it. So what are we going to fix it with? Well, I have used some Velcro dots, which I call Velcro dots, known as hook and loop. And these are 13mm white self-adhesive dots, and I got them from Amazon. And they just cost me a couple of quid, and you get 100 hooks and 100 loops, so you can make 100 bags or boxes or whatever you want to make. So you get your hook and loops out, and I get my fluffy side first, and I take that off there with the sticky, and I place it. That's your fluffy side. Where are you? That's your fluffy side, and you're putting your fluffy side down onto the hook part there, onto there. Try and make sure it's squared up as you can get it, and pull that off there. So now you've got the two fluffy bits together. I've got that on my finger, and the part that's the hook is there, and the part that's the fluffy bit's there. So the fluffy bit, I put that, you want to put it in the middle, which is about here, and about, I would say, 1/8 of an inch away from the top of the lid. Put your bag together and press it down, and press that firmly. Lift up your hook and loop, that's perfectly stuck, and get your thumb and finger in there just to make sure that that's not going to come off there. And that is your bag made. Gorgeous. So let's put our hook and loops to one side, because now we need to concentrate on the rest of the decoration. So let's bring the rest of our lady in so you can see, and I'm just now going to pull you back out again so that you can see what I'm up to. I think that's good. And we're now going to do the front bit here and the top here. So let's get our stamp set in and get our posh little lady on our block. Like that. And I've got my 3rd size, was it? Let's just tell you, or was it the 4th? Now this is the 4th side from the outside edge, the 4th size, and that is what I've used to stamp my lady on. And then I'll show you how you go about the paper piecing. I'm using Basic Black's archival ink. So let's put that in the ink. Make sure that that's good and done. That looks good. And lining it up, and I'm going to just pull this towards me so that I can line that up, and making sure that I've got my lady on my framelit die. Pull that up. Gorgeous. Isn't she gorgeous? And that is our lovely lady done. And now we want to do the paper piecing. So how do we go about doing the paper piecing? Well, how I went about it, and I've already started to do this, but I'm going to show you what I did. So I did stamp a lady out on a piece of scrap to start with, so that when I'd cut out my little lady in the designer paper, I could fit it on and make sure it fitted well, because I hadn't actually stamped it on my notelet thing at the time. So with your paper, and I've got this pink here so that you can see what I'm doing, we ink up our lady again with our Basic Black archival ink, and we stamp her down onto our DSP like that. And then we get our scissors. And the way I went about doing it was I cut just up to that black line, just up to the black line. I mean, this doesn't take you too long really, and it's so worth doing. It seems tricky and fiddly, but it isn't when you get going. And do you know what? You'll make such a beautiful design. It's just so worth it. I just love this stamp set. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I'm loving my bag. So can you see how I'm cutting her out just on the black line and no more? And that is how you go about cutting her out. So with your scissors, very carefully cut her out. Now when you get to that top bit there, you've got like a little, where she's sort of got a little movement in her like that, ooh, ooh. You're going to cut that movement out. But just, can you see how there's a black movement at the top and then another black movement? And I'm cutting out I'm cutting off one of the movements. Can you see that? I've not cut out one of those movements. Now, it's up to you whether you cut that out or not. This is a trial and error thing sometimes, where you just have to say, well, I'm going to have a go, see what that looks like, cut like that. And it's what works for you. It's what your take on it all is. But let me tell you, it is so worth cutting this out. Because once you have, and you've put this on your lady, you are going to be so excited, like I was, to put this on your lady. So going round, just cutting on the black and no more. And then you've got your movement there. And what I've done there, you've got a little movement that goes off at an angle, and then you've got others that are within the dress. And I've cut the ones off that are outside the dress. And like I say, it's up to you what your take is on it. And then where the dress ends, the black part, I've cut that straight across the bottom. And then we get our lady, and what we do is we put that on the top there, like that. And can you see how that looks so, oh, fab, absolutely fab. Now, shall I tell you what this reminds me of? When I was a child, we used to have little paper dolls, and we had to cut out the little dresses, and they had little hook over tabs, and I used to love doing that. It was just so blinking good, and it would keep you amused for hours, because you used to have these little ladies with all these posh little frocks, and I loved it. So can you see how that fits on there perfectly? Isn't that gorgeous? And then you come to your hat. Now the hat is a bit trickier, but it's manageable. So let's cut off our excess there. Now what I've done is start by doing the outside of the hat first. And if you remember, we're cutting off up to the black lines and no more. And on the top of her hat is her hand. So you don't want to put her hand on there. So you are cutting around inside her hand like that, and cutting to the hat only. And then we come to the hat, and that part there, I've come round and matched the hat in one. So let me show you that. Can you see how I've cut the hat, and then you've got part of her face here and her hair, which you don't need. So let me show you how you go about doing that. So I snipped in for her hat, and then I snipped in there at an angle for her face, and then I cut that middle piece out like that, because obviously you don't want her to have a pink spotty face, do you? Because that's not going to work. So can you see how I've cut that face part off? And now I'm just left with a little hat. And that, let me pick that up, and that little hat fits over there beautifully. Can you see that? How beautifully that fits on there. Gorgeous. And then you just stick that on with a bit of glue, which is what we're going to do in a minute. Let's see now. I wasn't sure whether to do a pink lady there or whether to do a black lady. So let's bring in our bag, and we're going to have a little black framelit on, which we're going to cut out in a minute. So I wasn't sure whether to go black lady or pink lady, and I know you're all going to be going black, pink, and I can't hear you, so that's tricky for me, and I wished I could hear you. I mean, black hat, pink dress, I don't know. Who can tell? So shall we go with the pink lady today? I think we'll go with the pink lady. So let's get her pink hat, if I can find what I've done with it. There it is. No, I've lost it. What? Where's it gone? Oh, come on. This is getting silly. Hold on, I think I might have just found it. Oh, I found it. Oh, all is good. Right, I'm going to go pink lady because that's what it's saying to me, and I hope you're saying pink lady too. So let's get all these silly little bits out of the way, driving me nuts. Right then, let's glue down our lady, and I've just used, let's bring you down again slightly so you can see what I'm up to. I hope you can see that. So I've used the Tombow glue to stick my lady again, and I'm just putting a little all over. Don't go too mad with it, but make sure that you do cover your lady as well as you can, not too much to the outside edges, but we do want even her sleeves to stick. So let's get some tweezers, maybe would help to pick this lady up. Move her hat out of the way for a moment and stick that back on there. Down there. Move that into place a bit more. And that is perfect to me. Let me show you that. And can you see how you've got that little movement like that? But that I don't think is meant to be part of her dress. That's part of the style of the movement, and the same on the shoulder. You've got that little zhuzh, and I think that's perfect. Can you see that? Oh, isn't she gorgeous? Oh, I love this stamp set. I love it. Absolutely love it. Right. Now we're going to stick down her hat. That's it. And I apologise if this video is going on a bit, but I think it's better for me to explain to you how to do something properly than you thinking, well, that was very good, but I want you all to be able to make this as well. And who knows, you might even be tempted to purchase these products from little old me, and that would be lovely. I'd be so happy. Look at that. What do you think? Is that not gorgeous? Oh, I just adore it. So let's now finish off our top and crack on before the time moves on too much and I run out of battery. Let's get the big shot in on the table, and I'll probably move you out now, otherwise you won't see what I'm doing properly. Right, take off the first of our pads. So now we need, to go with our lady, we need the third one in, because that sits on there like that. So let's get our pink, because we're using pink. I think we're using pink. Yes, we're using pink. And this is a piece that I want to use up and make the most of, so I'm sitting that on there. Plate on the top and run that through. Oops, run that through. So that's that part done. And now, put that back. And now for my top, I've used the same frame that dies, and the tiniest one of all, and a piece of black on there, and run that through. Right. So that's all our pieces cut. Right then, let's put the big shot away. We don't need that anymore. Right, so hold that down, hold those down, put those to one side. So we've got the last pieces to finish our lady, so let's pop our lady onto there. Bit of Tombow glue again and pop that on there like that, lining it up central as we did with the top of our bag. That looks about good to me. And then we need some dimensionals to pop that onto our bag. And what lady wouldn't be excited to receive this with some goodies in? And my card as well that matches. It's a fabulous, fabulous thing. So let's put that on there. So we line that up centrally. That seems to fit on there quite nicely. There. Lovely. And this black piece goes on there. So let's pop that on there with a dimensional. Pop that on the middle, line that up with the middle, get that about centrally to the top and the bottom there. That's good. And I've got this Melon Mambo stitched ribbon which matches all my colours, which is basic black and melon mambo, so that all matches up as you can see. And wow, look at that, that ribbon matches with the dots. Ooh, how fabulous. So we're going to make a little ribbon bow. No, start again. Ribbon bow. More fingers and thumbs now. Cameras and bows, they don't go, you know. They just don't go. Oh. Third time lucky, as they say. When I made that other one, it went perfect first time. Oh, we're there now. We're there. So just make that a bit smaller. Like that. Cut that off. Cut that off. Push that all to one side. Get my glue dots. So I'm going to roll a glue dot in half and roll that up on itself like that. Hope you can see that. Roll that up and stick that on the back of my ribbon. And then that pops on there like that. In the middle there. And looks really good. Fab. Absolutely fab. Gorgeous. So elegant. So let's bring in our other bags and our stylish card. And don't you think that that's a real elegant card? Match that with a nice envelope and match that. And fantastic. Who wouldn't want to receive that? Lucky ladies. So I hope you really enjoyed that today. And if I can help you with anything, let me know. You can always send me an email to sandra@artypapercrafters.com. If there's something that you'd like me to make, let me know. I always love a challenge. And I'll be back in a couple of days with another video for you. And until then, it's bye for now. Bye.